Got some new toys since my last video, so the audio should be a little better. I also got some software that'll let me do super fun stuff like draw scribbles all over the screen. Today we're gonna look at some of Uguev's little gut wrench he does. It's kind of weird. It's like a hybrid. It's like in between a mid and a high gut. All right, let's get into it. Watch it in slow motion. Pause when we need to. Talk about it. Okay, so the first thing Uguev does is start to drive off his inside leg. This foot right here. His leg is going to go completely straight almost all the time when he does this. And he's driving everything up and toward this guy's far elbow. All right, sometimes it's their hand, sometimes it's their elbow, but he's driving all the weight in that direction. Now, the other thing he does, he's not using both feet to drive here. His other foot comes and hooks right in front of the guy's knee with his laces. Now, you can see how there's space just a little bit between his chest and the guy's back. What's keeping this guy in on this gut wrench is obviously this drive foot and weight on his elbow, but he's got the side of his body pinched in at his elbow pit right here. All right, so it's almost like he's carrying a stack of boards right in his elbow pit and they're just never leaving. All right, so he's got that guy's body just shoved right in his elbow pit and he just can't get out of there. So now he's using this foot, his hook foot, to do a couple things. The first is going to be to block this guy from stepping over his body. All right, because if you get stepped over, you're probably getting reversed and pinned, or who knows. So he's stopping him from stepping over with this block foot. And now as he starts to drive, he's soon as his back starts to go towards the mat, he's gonna kick this leg through, take the guy's post out, and kick him right over for a turn. So he's driving bottom leg straight, blocking with his lace foot, kicking that guy right over top, getting his turn. Okay. So we pretty much got his feet covered. Let's talk about his arms. We did talk about his top arm, where he's pinching that guy in with his elbow pit, just right on that guy's side of his ribs. Now his bottom arm is just down and into his own side. His bottom arm will basically be touching his ribs almost every time. Down and in. All right, he's not elbows high or anything like that. He's just arm down and in, and he keeps it pinched down the whole time. Top elbow, like I said, is hooked over top of this guy's ribs. Now look at his head here. He's not ear down on his back like traditional gut wrench. He's more like chin up, more of a high gut wrench kind of look. So let's back it up a little bit. So his head will never really turn ear down on the guy's back. It still stays up, 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 up. Head still up. He's gonna hit the back of his head on the mat. Kick the guy right through. Let's go on to the next clip. This is a good one to look at his bottom arm in. Ooh. That one was less of a effort to get that one over. Okay. We really get to see how he gets his lock on this one. He's just lifting like pretty normal. Now his back arm is always palm down. That's his elbow hook arm. His elbow hook arm is always palm down. As he continues, he's almost all the way across the guy's chest with just one arm. So he almost locks his hands or his arms at a 90-degree angle. He's not even gripped with his same side turn hand. He's just locked on his forearm with his far hand. Good. Now, so what I mean by he's locked at 90 degrees is that if we were to look at the other side, he'd have one forearm going straight across, and then his other forearm would be going straight down. So this first line would be his far arm, and the second line is obviously his near arm. Right. Now, look how high up on this guy he is with his shoulder. Shoulder's way high up. Traditional midgut would be more down in this area, but he's way up in this guy's armpit. Okay, you see his foot start to come over. So bottom foot comes underneath. Oop. Starts to drive. Top foot comes over. Now right here, look at his hips. Most people would say he's falling off to the side and he's never going to get this, right? Even I thought that. I was like, wow, this is interesting because his hips are all the way off to the side. They're perpendicular to the opponent's hips. And then as he drives, he even goes further underneath him. Look, his opponent's hips are facing down. His hips are basically facing up. All right. Starts to drive. Boom. Look, back leg goes straight for his drive. All the weight in his elbow. Heads up high. Now all he's got left to do is stop this guy from stepping over him. So he's got this foot hook. As he takes him through, he's kicking him up and over and finishing right back on top. This is by far my favorite clip. There's a couple tricky things he does in here. We'll watch it fast or normal speed one time. So he hits one normal gut wrench, and then he hits his little kick lift gut wrench right after. Let's kind of look at the difference between his first gut wrench and the second. So this looks more traditional, right? He's got both elbows pinched down and tight, down this way. Head's on the guy's back. And look how low this lock is on the guy's body. It's low ribs as opposed to closer to a high gut, which is up here. So, well, really, I mean, high gut is probably closer to up here. So he's like right in between normally on his lock. So this is his first gut. Normal. Boom. Right there. He slides his lock up. Let's back it up just a little bit. So as he comes on top here, slow her down. Slides his lock straight up. His lock went from here to high. All right. Now is when he's gonna go and get his signature kick lift gut wrench. Elbow is already starting to pinch down to his side. He's getting his feet adjusted. Starting to get weight in this guy's hand instead of his elbow like the previous ones. Shoulders pretty high. Bottom foot underneath. Now, something interesting happens here where he's not going to be able to get enough drive. All right, so he starts to drive this guy. He goes toe in front. His leg goes straight right here. And that's all the drive he can get. All right, this guy's defending decently well. He's really high, but he's defending decently well. So as he starts to drive, he's like, okay, I can't get this one. He replaces his foot, brings it back out. Now, lace foot comes back over behind him. Now, this is the cool part, to me anyway. He takes his leg and bumps this guy's post, well, what's going to be his post, out, carries it back with him. Quick foot switch. Bottom foot's back in the mat to drive. Top foot's swinging over right into place. Now he's got his set position. He's got this one. Boom. Elbow. Got weight on it. Starting to drive. Look, hips are almost underneath his. Hips facing up. Opponent's hips are just slightly not facing completely down, but they're almost there. All right, so kicks, drives him through. Nice and clean. Let's watch that one more time just for fun. Back it up some more. All the way from the lock adjustment. How about that? So he just adjusted his lock up. Speed it up just a little bit. Leg goes straight. Starts to drive. Realize he's not going to get it. Steps his foot back out and over. Carries the guy's leg with him. Foot in the mat. He's ready to go. He's got this one for sure. Now, I don't know if I talked about it a whole lot, but one of the things he's doing, the reason I call it like in between a mid and a high gut, is because he starts to drive forward first on all these. So his drive initially goes forward and to the side right to get the weight on the guy's hand or elbow. And then once he gets that weight, he's completely sideways. There's no more forward drive anyway because his leg's straight. So he can't drive forward anymore. All right, so all he can do is pull his arms to the side and make the guy twist.